That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Ryan O'Halloran.
Jason David Frank.
Humberto Ramos.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter, and we hang with authors, artists, filmmakers, musicians, cosplayers, people walking by on the street, anybody that... I'm lonely. That's what it comes down to. I need company. But right now, we got really lucky because we're hanging with authors Alyssa, Nikki Helton, and Keith Helton, who are the authors responsible for... well, this whole mess on my
lots
table.
of stuff.
I invited them over to sit down because they were walking by. They looked lonely too. And they brought a bunch of books and they dropped them on the table. So we're going to talk about each one of these books. Yeah, we can talk about all of them, most of them. And also the Sam Boy series.
Yes.
The Sam Boy series.
Right.
There's a whole bunch.
There's going to be a whole bunch.
There's going to be a whole bunch. How many are there now?
There's one, the second one's coming out this year, and there's 10 written.
Well, there's 10 written?
Yes. We're waiting on illustrations. That's, yeah.
I'm in the middle of chapter 5 on my next book, so I'm like, you got 10 written.
Yes, yes. And 7 novels published.
So she's an overachiever. Just saying. If you guys didn't know that already, you should right now. Before we go any further, you probably can't try this at home. So... guys, thank you so much for hanging with us.
Thank you.
Keith, thanks for coming by, man. Thank you. We got this first one up here.
Yes.
They set this up for us.
Okay.
They're very nice like that.
Yes, they are.
The Coffee, Kids, and a Kidnapping.
Right.
That's like last Saturday for me. I had coffee. I prayed that the kids would get kidnapped.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
I know, right?
And the coffee didn't last nearly as long as I thought it would. So
You gotta pace yourself.
you do. You have to pace yourself. Well, I was waiting for the kidnappers.
Right.
It makes me nervous. I drink.
And there you go. Yeah.
We'll give them a minute. They're all caught up now. All right. Okay, so tell us, give us the book blurb here on Coffee, Kids, and a Kidnapping.
Okay, so it's based on, about Charlotte Ritter, and who is a character based on myself. She's a kind of nosy, stubborn kind of...
You like just outed yourself?
Yes, I totally did.
International YouTube.
I did.
So if you live next door to Nikki...
I'm nosy, I'm stubborn,
I can vouch for that.
And see, he's going to vouch for
Keith
it.
doesn't even argue.
No.
He's just like...
He knows.
So
she's based on me, and she's a single mom, which I was a single mom for several years, 3 kids. She has an autistic son, which I have.
Okay.
But she uses her nosiness and her hard-headedness to solve a mystery that other people kind of ignored. So, and she drinks a whole lot of coffee. I think there's literally 15 or 20 different coffee places in the book.
This is, any writer can tell you, that's almost always autobiographical.
Yeah.
We live on coffee.
Coffee, right?
Food, yeah, whatever. Just bring the coffee.
Yeah, as long as there's coffee,
That's right.
I'm good. You know?
So what inspired you to take this all these personality traits and decide to turn it into a mystery?
I just wanted to do something fun, and I wanted to try my hand at a mystery, and I wanted to write something local. This is set in Brevard. So there's lots of landmarks. You know, I mentioned even the compound out in Palm Bay that locals would be familiar with. Indian River Coffee, you know, lots of different places. I wanted to be able to use what I know in a story. And that's kind of what came about. And I get to live vicariously through Charlotte, you know, and have this little adventure that I wouldn't do.
So she gets to go play Nancy Drew, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I would totally do that if I could. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this stands alone?
Yes, it's the first one
of the
first, series.
There'll be more.
The second one's written and will be out hopefully next month in April.
So, guys, new sleuth heroine is Charlotte Ritter.
Right.
Charlotte, more coming.
Yes.
That's fantastic. More. I love it. I did my first mystery novel, and it was standalone, and it was because I have a passion for noir.
Oh,
and I thought it would be fun to write a noir detective story, and no one had ever really done a noir detective's origin story. Ooh. And because they're always, you know, when Sam Spade walks into a novel, he's already jaded. He's already been on the job a while. I mean, he is the hard-boiled detective.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, how does one get like that?
Right.
How do you get from being, we're all like, raring to go at like 18, 19, right?
Yeah.
How do you end up like Bogart?
right.
You all want to know the same, but lots of booze. That's right. And I was done. The characters were done in my head. I'm done. And then I actually had readers writing me and
That's
Facebook.
Cool.
When's his next case?
Yeah. And you're like.
So when is his next case?
Well, he's had 2 now.
Oh, cool.
He's had 2 now. There's more out there in the series, but it is one of those things. Once you get hooked into this genre, it's so much fun to write.
Yeah.
It's so fun to write. I like mysteries because there are so many subgenres within mysteries. I started out with a noir type story. The same character's second case is actually a mystery in a bottle. It's kind of like Clue.
Okay.
Everybody's trapped under one roof and you got to figure it out. And so there's so many subgenres. It's fun to write these characters because you can put them anywhere and their personalities drive them forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Charlotte Ritter is solving a mystery near you very soon. She's solving a mystery near me right now. A kidnapping.
Yes.
None of my kids. I didn't pay for that yet. Apparently.
Slip me a little money, I'll work it out for you.
You work it out for me?
Yeah, I'll work
All right.
it out for you.
So now what we have back here, we've got, I'm looking at Dogwood Alley. Okay, and so that the camera can see that. I'm so happy that the camera can see that. I'm going to put that up here for now. So let's start at the beginning with just like a book blurb. Give us a bam.
All right, this is my very first book.
Your very first book?
My very first book. It's historical fiction.
Okay.
It's based on my family. My great-great-grandparents had 25 children and were sharecroppers in the hills of Tennessee.
So they farmed and had 25 children?
Yes.
They didn't have TV.
Yeah, there was
no cable.
You had to have somebody work the farm, right?
Wow.
Talk about a kidnapping you want to happen, right?
I hope the water pump was really close to the house. Just saying. Wow. 25 kids.
Yes.
And sharecroppers, and you grabbed that story and said, well, yeah, that's a story that has to be told.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's a story that you normally have to go to the adult bookstore for. So the fact that she could do it in a historical fiction novel is really cool.
Right, this is G-rated.
This is G. Unlike the show, which just took a whole different turn.
And you know what's really funny is it's listed in Christian historical fiction specifically. So we just kind of went off.
That makes so much sense, really, when you think about that. So your family inspired this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what's going on in here?
What's interesting is they were discovered by census workers. And so what I did, and we have...
There were 28 of them. How hard was it to discover them?
They were kind of hidden away, and these census workers found
Columbus
them,
discovering America. It's a continent.
Yeah. And it was by accident. So,
of course.
of course.
Yeah.
And so everybody in our family has a copy of this newspaper article that came about from the census workers finding this huge family and blah, blah, blah. So I took that and I put in fictional characters as the census workers and the newspaper man, and then just follow the family story. It covers about a decade, this particular book, of how World War II comes in.
The research on that, because it's based on your family, must have been a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a whole lot of fun.
You get to find out things about the great-grandparents that you're like, oh, well, first of all, there's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They didn't have much else to do.
No.
So, except for farming.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now, Keith,
yes,
you help write the series.
I help. I do research.
You do research. Okay.
I help format. I do whatever she needs me to do whenever she needs me to do it.
Yeah.
I'm basically a slave.
And he gets me coffee.
I get her.
See, that's what the ring means. This is a brand. We all have them.
Right.
See, there you go, brother. All right, and all right. So let's talk about the children's series.
Yes.
Okay, because we don't have that to show them.
I'm so sorry. I'm out of copies because they're popular, you know. So what can I say?
What she meant to say was, I'm not sorry at all.
That's right.
People are buying my book, and I like it.
Yeah. We just don't happen to have a copy. I don't know what to tell
that's
you.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What is the children's series about?
Sam Boy is based on my autistic son that I mentioned, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
He used to run around the house in costume pretending to be Sam Boy, you know, instead of some other superhero. And so we took that and we made, the first book is called Samboy versus the Closet Monster. And he's going to rescue his little sister, Carolyn, who he actually has a little sister, Carolyn, from the closet monster in kind of a sneaky way.
Nobody in your family is safe.
No, no one is safe.
No, they're going to get kidnapped. They're going to die of exhaustion. There's monsters in the closet.
Right.
No one in her family is safe.
No.
You're all fodder for the next book.
That's right. That's right. If you don't want me to write about it, you better not let me see it.
Don't show it.
Don't show it to. No.
Not at all.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Actually, what's really cool about that for us is I now need a copy of that book.
Okay.
Because as you guys came in, you must have seen the little tiny guy.
Yeah.
That's Cosplay Michael.
Right. Okay.
And he's been cosplaying since he was 4.
That's crazy. I love it.
And that's what he loves it. Absolutely loves it. So, and he always loves to know when other kids are into that imagination,
Sure.
whether it be cosplay or just running around. Before he could get a costume made or con me into making it,
Right.
he would just tie the towel around his neck and go,
Yeah.
like we did when we were kids.
Yeah.
And now those towels cost like $8,000.
That's right.
But they're super absorbent.
But they are super absorbent and they last in a good windstorm.
Yeah.
And they actually, the kids can jump off of high places and the towel lasts longer than the kid.
That's
So, so now we have another one real quick.
Okay. Yes.
We're gonna switch these out. And the Lion Tamer's Daughter.
Yes. This is the first of another series. See, Dogwood Alley.
Which one of your sisters is this?
I'm an only child.
Oh, you're an only child.
Okay, after 25 kids, each generation got smaller and
smaller and smaller. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first of
20 with multiple with the 20. What was it? 25
Yes.
kids. With 25 kids each generation. Every time a new guy showed up at the house, he just looked and went, no.
No, that's
No. Until finally they got down to it's Nikki.
It's me. That's
Nikki.
it. That's it. No more.
So how do we explain our 6?
Yeah, we have 6 between us, so I guess we're going back
going
up
back
that way.
Welcome to the club. We're a his, mine, and ours of 8.
Oh,
You
you
have
got
a
his
beat.
feet.
So,
Thank God you have
and one of them is they call it the what is it? Sage's mother has a term for it. Michael is the youngest of the 8. He's 7. The nearest to him is actually 19 now.
Oh.
So there's a huge.
Right.
That's like the midlife can we still do it kid.
It's like 8 is enough from the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They always had that one little one running around.
Right.
It
Right.
makes you Tom Van Patten, though.
Getting the hairline slowly but surely. So the Lion Tamer's Daughter.
Okay.
Who is she? Who is this?
This series is, I'm calling it my Florida history series, but the main character is Michael Tallen, who is a journalist, and he kind of gets conned into writing this old woman's life story, but he ends up fascinated by her. Her name's Ruth, and she is the Lion Tamer's daughter, and she tells him her story about growing up in the circus in Florida in the late 30s, early 40s, how World War II comes about and totally changes all that because the men are going off to fight, leaves you without performers. You know.
What many on YouTube might not know is that in that era, Florida was the headquarters for most of the carnivals and sideshows and circuses throughout the country. This is a great place all year long. You can train.
Right, exactly.
And we actually have a small town in Florida that is actually sort of the home base for all the old retired sideshow acts from the old Barnum days.
Right.
So Florida has been a great place for this kind of story for a long time.
Oh, for a long time, yeah.
And so, you said, but this is part of a series.
This is a series because in the next book, which we have, it's out, it's Michael goes to Miami, and this time he interviews an older gentleman who played baseball for the Havana Sugar Kings. So that book is called The Sugar King Shortstop. Wow. So my goal is to do a different take on Florida history with each book in the series.
You do a lot of stuff in Florida.
Yes.
You do a lot of stuff that is really grabbing hold of the local environment.
There's so much here.
There is.
Yeah.
There is, but it's sort of a classic thing for people to gravitate. Fiction writers tend to gravitate toward those bigger cities, those Atlantas and New Yorks and New Orleans and LA. It's always fun to see when a writer takes Brevard or small town America, even our big cities. I mean, we have Miami now, which has been made prominent when we were all younger in Miami Vice or things like that.
Yeah.
But
Don Johnson days.
that guy, it's been 40 years, and he still makes them swoon. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't,
yeah.
So,
wanted
you got a lot of work here going. Oh, no doubt.
First one,
Who didn't?
the Daytona.
Yeah.
And then they blew it up. What was up with that?
You guys can have the car. We get the guys.
That's a fair deal no matter where you go. It's a fair
It's
shake.
a fair shake.
So
This is going way off topic.
we went way over here.
You have a lot of editing to do. I'm so sorry.
The thing I think about the Michael Tallen series is when most people think about Florida, they think of beaches or Disney World.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to Florida when you peel back the layers.
There's
and you look
400
at the
miles
history.
between those
Yeah,
things.
there's so much that has happened over the
Yeah.
last century in Florida that's just amazing, and you don't hear about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, when she started researching this book, I learned things I never knew, and I've been living here for almost 30 years. So
That's fantastic.
it's like I love research now because I find out things that I love and places I want to
About
go
your
see.
home.
Yeah.
About your home. Are y'all native to Florida?
No.
No, I'm
No,
from
I was going to
Tennessee.
say because that's a rare thing.
Yeah.
They're actually an endangered species,
Yeah.
and they are protected by state law. They're the native Floridian.
Still.
You can't hunt them, not the way you wanted to. No, we all come from other places.
Yeah.
And amazing. That's one of the amazing things about Florida and Florida history, though, is that we do all come from other places. And this was one of in the industrial United States, our state was one of the last to become habitable.
Yeah.
The original name for Melbourne, as a matter of fact, was Mosquito Cove.
Right.
And I knew a native Floridian once. They're rare, but if you run into them, you try to capture them and keep them for a while. And she was telling us that she remembered growing up as a little girl, you put your hand on the screen door, and when you moved it away, it was covered with mosquitoes because it was before the days of the mosquito control guy coming around.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you could just put your hand up there, and when you came, it'd be a handprint on the outside of the door. That's how uninhabitable, hospitable. People didn't come to Florida then.
Right.
We got a mosquito control guy. He goes around. Now we have beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
Everything works out.
Right.
But it's great to dive into Florida history and to learn. There've been people here for a long time. They've lived in harsh conditions sometimes. It was a big agricultural state.
Yes. Yeah.
So those are all fantastic things that you get to dive into in your
Oh
storytelling.
yeah. There'll be lots of books coming because there's so much inspiration.
We love it when we interview a new author on the show and they say there's lots more.
Yes.
There's lots more coming. Where can people find you up the road? Do you have book signings coming up, events, activities? Where are you going to be?
Good question.
Help her out.
Help
Leave
us
some
out.
comments down below. Tell her where you want her to go.
Yes.
Where do you want her to bring her books?
Please.
We're going to put links down below so people can
Yes.
find your books online.
We do have a website and we are on Amazon.
Fantastic.
Okay.
We're going to put links in the description down below. We're going to tell you all about where to find Alyssa Nikki Helton's books. And there are a lot of, I have 3 right in front of me, and this is just like the tip of her head. She's got 10 more in her brain and written.
Yeah, well, there's 7 published novels and 1 children's book, and then
Whatever else is floating out of your.
yeah, there'll be
Wow,
3
man,
for
that's
sure
crazy.
this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. We have to wrap it up because they only give us 10 to 12 minutes.
Gotcha.
Apparently, it's a YouTube and internet thing. They can watch us for 12 minutes and then they have to watch something else.
Okay.
That could be my fault.
It's fans. It's
It
attention
is.
spans. Yeah.
So, as we wrap it up, we want to say thank you to our partners and friends at Some Unique Magazine, Off the Chain Radio with author Yvonne Mason, Famous Faces and Funnies, Krypton Radio, Space Coast Comics, our great friends at Asylum Convention Entertainment Services, our terrific friends over at the Space Coast Book Lovers Conference, and we look forward to being out there. There are 75 authors all lined up for the same weekend. And then there'll be one really exhausted talk show host.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We're looking forward to that coming up.
Very
so we've been here hanging with Alyssa, Nikki Helton, and Keith Helton, authors and creators responsible for the Samboy series,
Right?
which is a children's adventure
Yes. Yes.
series.
Superheroes.
Superheroes
Yeah.
kids being kids, which is
Exactly.
always a lot of fun.
Yes.
As well as the name of this series is
The Florida History Series.
The Florida History Series. And we have Dogwood Alley, which is a part of
The Dogwood Alley series.
the Dogwood Alley series.
Makes sense.
It doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
Right.
Okay. And then, of course, we have the all-new Charlotte Ritter Mystery Series,
Yes.
which starts out with Coffee Kids and a Kidnapping. It's like a Monday morning for my mom. So, guys, thank you so much. We've been hanging with Nikki and Keith, and we're so happy that we have been. Check out the links down below in the description. Make sure you get over there. Remember here, subscribe, log on, tune in, see who we're hanging with next.
Thank you.